I took the walk from the garage out here with Callum, and he is going to multitask. He gets ready to get in the race car in a few minutes. Brand new car. You've not driven. It's been on track. What's the mindset here coming up in a few minutes?
Just send it.
So what's the plan?
Go out, check it's okay, and then do 4 laps, nail it, and come back in.
You have seen this car on track. Canapino ran it in the test here. What's different from one car to another? What are you looking for to feel to make sure that you're in the ballpark?
Oh, hope it feels good and then go. I mean, like, he was running completely fine. Pretty much everything set down the same as what Canapino finished with yesterday, and they were doing a great job yesterday. So, you know, I have full confidence that this car's going to be good, and there's no worries.
And I know you're not just saying that. You do have confidence. You know the last one wasn't working, so I'm going to guess you slept a lot better knowing that there's a better option out there.
Yeah, obviously some people think I should be super stressed, but I'm more confident with this than what I was driving, so it should be good.
Thank you. We'll find out more from Callum Ilott, and the goal is just one run coming up, put it in the barn, and let's go try to qualify for the Indy 500.
Take some laps. So what do you look for this morning? I know there's kind of a different game plan or an objective of this session for Jack, but what do you watch your teammate when he's doing out here?
I think at this point it's just the most important for me, Catherine and Graham, is to understand what the track condition is, and it's great for Jack to be out there right now and set a benchmark for us. Obviously I have an early draw, so I'll be looking closely at what he's doing and how the car performs.
We've talked on our show already. There's a couple Hondas that had some issues yesterday. Is that a concern to you or to your team, given that Jack had an issue yesterday too?
I don't think so, really. My Honda powered car has been fine all week, so I don't see a reason why it should be a problem now. So I mean, you never really know, but it's been reliable up until now.
Yeah, let's ask him. So just was talking about how all 3 of the Ed Carpenter cars pretty close this year on setup, but it's so tight, right? So how do you feel going into Go Fast Day here?
I mean, I think really this run will help us. You know, the first run yesterday, I would have said, you know, let's go qualify it immediately. But then the temperature goes up and you try to do a few things and then you make yourself upset. So, you know, so we'll see. I mean, I think we know we have a fast car. I would say the speeds this morning have honestly been surprisingly slow, which is weird. But like I saw Colton's radio message said it was really easy. So, you know, there's a lot more downforce with these conditions than we've got this morning. But we're just basically trying to do this for our teammates and for us as well to make sure we nail the gears later, because I think gears are going to be, you know, super important.
Is there anything balance-wise that you try or can find in a session like this? I mean, with only 12 minutes left, I know you're probably only going to go out once. So, I mean, what is the biggest objective for you personally in your car?
I mean, for us, it's just reaffirming confidence, I would say, and it helps us as a team. So, you know, we know we're a fast car. We're not on an island. We're not trying to go out here and change a bunch of things. So we're just, you know, we're going to fine-tune things, get the aero where we want it, and see if we, you know, it's a little cooler today. So do we need to throw some, you know, more trims at it and see what happens when we go out for qualifying?
All right, it's always fun to watch Conor and the Ed Carpenter cars, and we'll get to do that a little bit later today.
Ideally, we're planning to do one run, analyzing two things last night, obviously trying to find a little bit more speed than what we showed yesterday. A couple of changes that we made through the night I think will help, and I think we'll go out and see what we got.
You got 3 teammates. How similar do you guys like the car? For example, if Colton is good this morning, is that what you run, or do you like it a little bit different?
I think we're quite close to the 26. I think we're a little bit closer to the 27. We'll just go out and see what we got. I think each car has been optimized a little bit differently and needs something a little bit different to get the speed out of it.
So it is chilly right now. It's 55 degrees. The sun is out, but how much of a good read can you get now compared to if it's 70 degrees and sunny when you qualify?
From what I've looked at, it looks like it's only going to be 60, which is
okay.
But if it's 70, you know, I think the aero just to get a bit thinner and you won't be able to run as light on downforce. It looks like the wind's going to be in the same direction as well.
I found Jack Harvey, who, of course, just went out and shook down that new motor behind the 30 car. So everything feel okay there, all things considered? Just accomplish what you wanted to this morning?
I hope so. Yeah, I mean, the goal of that session was just make sure the engine's running well. We had a really unfortunate end yesterday. You know, the speed that we have is the speed that we're going to have. Hopefully make a good qualifying run and just see what the number 30 people ready car can do.
Yeah, how are you feeling about today? I know that the pace hasn't been what you guys want, so what are the expectations for today?
The only expectation is try and put ourselves in a position to be in the race. If we have a good qualifying, then, you know, obviously we'll take as far up as we can get, but it's really difficult on a day like today, man. Like, you really just don't know, you know, and especially when our speed isn't awesome, seems like, makes it even more that way. So we just got to go out and just execute as good a 4 laps as we can.
Thanks, Jack.
Good perspective from Jack Harvey, kind of taking it in stride, knows where their speed is.
McLaren 1-2 in this session. The great debate is, do you go out? How much will you learn? What ultimately led the decision to go out and do a sim here in the morning?
Well, conditions are going to be pretty much identical to this, plus a couple of degrees here in a couple hours, and yesterday was not that. So it's a pretty easy decision for us, and hopefully it pays off later. So, you know, I think, you know, we're in a good place with the car, and we know now what we need to do going into qualifying.
All right, thank you. Let's go to Dylan.
And we caught up with Colton Herta, who we were a little surprised to see you out here. So what were you guys trying to learn this morning by running?
Just gear stacks and whatnot. It's pretty easy when you come out here in the morning, so it's not really too stressful, especially if you have a good balance, which we did yesterday. So we weren't worried about anything. But yeah, trimmed a little bit more, felt good. A little slower than what we thought, but yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see during qualifying once it heats up a little bit, and yeah, we'll see that. Are
you surprised that the speeds are slower than yesterday, just given how chilly it is this morning?
No. I mean, I don't think we're running as fast because of the cold. You know, I think it's almost too much downforce that we're getting right now. So we needed to warm up a little bit and make it a little bit tougher because we were pretty trim there and it was pretty easy. So hopefully it gets a little tougher and warms up a little bit, and hopefully we can get a little bit more competitive with that.
All right, thanks, Colton.
Final Indianapolis 500 qualifying run today.
That's right, going after another pole later this afternoon. So talked to a couple guys, said track's pretty gripped up, almost too stuck right now. Is that kind of how you felt too?
It's cold. It's the morning. Track is green because of the rain. Yeah, everybody feels awesome. Everybody feels like they're going to put it on the pole. Then noon comes up, temperature, track temp's going to come up. So that was good for us to run this morning. I wasn't really happy yesterday. I couldn't put 4 laps together, so we made some changes. Rossi helped us out a little bit. We have a very similar set. He's qualifying in front of us, so he's going to give me a little bit of a lead. And the goal today is to put in the top 12. There's nothing more. It doesn't matter who's on the pole today. So we're going to try to do that. If not, we try to qualify as further up as we can, and we go race.
What's the difficulty, given how different the conditions are going to be when you actually do qualify? What's the difficulty of just kind of knowing where you're at and being confident in what you have this morning?
It's a guessing game, and it's the most stressful time because you're just really guessing. You go, all right, it's going to be 20 degrees hotter. What do? Do you trim? Do you add? Is he going to understeer? Is he going to oversteer? So today is going to be more of an engineer's guessing, and who's going to guess it right, and us as drivers making the tools in the car to make it work. I mean, it's a very tight field, probably the tightest I've ever seen. So one hiccup today can leave you off of the top 12.
That's going to be fun. Good luck to TK today. He'll go out in just a little while for his qualifier.
Scott Dixon is standing on top of the stand, tracking what's happening with the second group. You said yesterday, hey, this is less than ideal, so you've got new power. Do you notice any difference? What are you looking for when you go out with a fresh engine?
It's just a bit of a process, right? You got to get miles on it, so you know it definitely puts you in a bit of a compromised position, I think. So we'll just we tried to get some miles on it this morning. We'll try again today. We may have to do a few runs just to get everything dialed in, but you know, I think the car's good. We made some changes on that last night. Yesterday it was decent. It was just that we had a bit of an issue there. So
that's a good point to bring up. You know, I think some would think, hey, a brand new engine, it's going to be faster, but I've heard people say before, actually, at the end of an engine's life sometimes is when it's fastest. True?
I think there's a sweet spot. I don't think it's at the start or at the end, but you know, it is one of those things of trying to get them to be dialed in as well. You know, they're very sensitive. You know, each cylinder needs its own special thing. So you know, it is what it is. We can't do anything about it, and we'll just have to probably try a little bit harder, I think, to make sure we get the most out of it.
And remember, all it needs to be on today is be one of the top 12 fastest. Let's talk to Ricardo Juncos, who is monitoring, and he's also looking at that monitor to try to take a look at how it looks so far. So what do you think about where you're at and what the challenge ahead will be?
I don't know really. I think the first outing was to check everything. He feels okay, and now we put another run, another set of tires. But I think approach corner one really fast for the first time, and I think he ran a little wide. I'm not sure exactly what the feedback is from him, but clearly it was not good because he pulled it away. So he aborted the quali run. So I'm not sure exactly. This is basically what Agustin has yesterday, exactly the same, with a little bit more COP to the other way around, a little bit more downforce to be safe, but looks the same. So we'll see. We'll see what he thinks. I don't know at this point.
First job done, though. You had some concerns yesterday about being at here this morning, and your guys were ready to go by the time you left last night.
Yes, I got to thank the guys. They did an excellent job. Everybody helping each other, and they are super professional. I'm really happy with the group of people that I have. And 10 o'clock last night, the car was ready. So today morning, we went to the tech, make sure everything is fine as well, and fine-tuning the bodywork details and stuff like that. So they're very pleased for the guys, you know.
Thank you, Ricardo. Good luck. Dylan.
So Alex Palou go to the top of the board late there on his run. So I know the conditions will be different for you later, given when you go in the qualifying order. But what did you learn there from lap 1 to lap 4?
A lot. I mean, it was a good run. The guys did an overnight engine change from yesterday, so we just wanted to check that everything was right. And the car is fast again, so yeah, really pleased with that. Obviously, the conditions are really different from yesterday and are going to be different from when we go out on 28th. But yeah, I feel it could be a good day for us.
Yeah, Ganassi cars have been so strong, just, I mean, from the start of this week. The conditions will be different, but you still feel like you guys have the speed and you know, no concerns as far as going out and laying down a good lap here.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty close. I don't think it's going to be easy to get into the fast 12. I think it's going to be really tight. It will be dependent on the third and the fourth lap. Try and be as consistent as possible. But yeah, it's the same for everybody. So yeah, hopefully you can get all 4 Ganassi cars in the fast 12.
All right, good start to the Saturday for Alex Palou. But Marty, as you said, biggest thing there on that run, his lap 4 time was better than his lap 3 time. So good things for sure to see from the 10.
Here's your top 10, Townsend. The Spaniard, the 10 with the fresh bullet. Behind that Chip Ganassi Racing chassis, the Honda putting the power down as Tony Kanaan looked really strong and comfortable. Teammate Alexander Rossi right there with Kanaan on 4-lap average. Kyle Kirkwood pounding out the laps. Colton Herta's teammate also looking pretty comfortable and confident. But the one that you point to, Marty, is Conor Daly, and I think for good reason. That's a big surprise. Where has the speed gone overnight?
Boy, he was so fast yesterday, shaking his head after that one run. They've got a lot of work to do in the ECR camp.